Tonight, we report on how a man pleaded guilty to attempted murder and how animals are getting help in Quincy and Moses Lake. What's happening in sports, Bob?
There were tears of joy and sadness as local area high school basketball teams advanced or were eliminated from the district playoffs. Stick around to find out who's in and who's out. Here's a look at our Weather Center forecast.
And from the Weather Department, we're looking at a little pattern change, less storminess, less winds, but colder temperatures. It's going to take 24 hours, though.
I'm Alan Troop, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Two people pleaded guilty for shooting Dale Olmos in the head near Moses Lake after an argument about a stolen phone and stolen methamphetamine. Jordan Weister, a 21-year-old Moses Lake man, pleaded guilty today to attempted murder in the 2nd degree and unlawful possession of a firearm in the 2nd degree. Gilbert Williamson, a 46-year-old man, pleaded guilty to rendering criminal assistance in the 1st degree. A third person, Jose Rivera, a 16-year-old boy, remains charged with attempted murder in the 1st degree and attempted murder in the 2nd degree. Prosecutors plan to ask for a 15-year prison sentence for Weister. The trio took Olmos out to a field west of Moses Lake, smoked methamphetamine, and began arguing about whether Olmos stole a phone and some meth on December 10th. Weister went to the car, drew a gun, and shot Olmos in the head and left him in the field on a night with freezing temperatures. Olmos survived the attack. The Quincy City Council decided to build a new animal shelter that will be bigger and better. Here is Cameron Probert with the story.
Quincy is getting a new animal shelter. The City Council accepted an about $787,000 bid from Spokane's Sean Cole Construction on Tuesday to build the 3,400 square foot building on 6th Avenue Northeast. City officials have been looking to replace the old shelter, located on Road 9 Northwest, for at least 2 years. The move is intended to give the shelter more space to house animals. The present shelter has 7 kennels for dogs. The new building is expected to have about 20 kennels, along with a separate room for cats, allowing people more interaction with their potential pets than the crates the shelter presently has, said Rachel Lewis, the animal shelter manager.
Also, we have a little better facilities for isolation and quarantine of new pets or any pets that come in if they're injured or exhibit signs of sickness. So we're very excited for that.
The additional space will allow the shelter to have more volunteer programs and interaction with the community, she said. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
Thank you, Cameron. The Grant County Economic Development Council is looking for more money from Grant County to help recruit business. Members of the board and staff met with the Grant County Commissioners to ask them for a roughly $35,000 per year raise in the county's contribution. The increase would bring the county's total contribution to $50,000 a year. The request is part of the EDC's 5-year strategic plan, which aims to attract 475 new jobs during the next 5 years. They asked the commissioners to use the money from a 9/1,000% state sales tax refund to pay for the increased contribution. The refund is aimed at helping rural counties with economic development. It's the fundraiser with the unforgettable name. Grant County Animal Outreach is offering a spaghetti dinner. Here is Courtney Vasquez with the story.
Members of Grant County Animal Outreach are preparing for their 3rd annual Spay-Getty Dinner. The dinner is intended to bring awareness to the local pet population.
We get about 2,500 to 3,000 animals that come through here a year. And a lot of them are puppies, kittens, pregnant moms. And so we kind of want to avoid all of that. We want to see them getting spayed and neutered because it helps with the pet population and it helps with the health of the animals.
The shelter currently has about 35 animals, which Dirting says is a small number.
We can keep our numbers lower, like they are. It gives us more individual time with the animals to kind of see more about what they are like so that we can find them the best home.
The Spaghetti Dinner is on Tuesday, February 25th. All proceeds go to the Grant County Animal Outreach Program. For iFIBER1 News, I'm Courtney Vasquez.
The dinner is from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Moses Lake Senior Center at 602 East 3rd Avenue. The cost is $10 per person. Law enforcement is looking for the following people as they have warrants for their arrest issued by the State Department of Corrections.
Each of the people you see here has warrants for their arrest and is wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these people, the Department of Corrections asks that you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m.
We'll be right back after this.